Dangers here, heat.
Is the heat. And this weekend, boy, we got close to that 110 mark, and it becomes very dangerous very quickly. We saw firsthand out at the White Tank Mountains there on the far western side of the valley when a young man died while he was out hiking with friends on a very long hike. Rescue
crews say it was due to the extreme heat. So we want to make sure that you know what to do and you want to be safe when you're out there in the heat and know how to take precautions, everything you need to handle these hot valley temperatures. Diane Ryan is live in Mesa.
Yep, she's talking with firefighters about what happens to us when we're out exercising in the heat, and it can cross over to some pretty dangerous territory if we don't watch ourselves.
Hey, that's right. Good morning, guys. You know, heat does put a lot of stress on the body, and we saw that this weekend. How many people succumbed to death or just blacking out or having nausea or dizziness. Those are some of the symptoms. But, you know, a lot of people do work in this heat. We're talking about construction workers, firefighters, people who have to work on the highways. They're out there working, and we want to know what their secrets are. With us right now this morning, we're with Mesa Fire, and we're with Forrest Smith. And we were talking about salt. That was one of my teases, and you said that how important that is.
Yeah, certainly salt intake we have to be moderate in our salt intake, but what that is it's just an example of how important electrolytes are to your water consumption or your fluid consumption. So that was just more of an example of the fact that you have to have certain levels of sodium, certain levels of electrolytes in order to be able to have your body be able to acclimate or be able to survive in these heat conditions.
So you can get it either through salt or through some energy drinks?
That's correct. What I did here is we have this energy drink that has all the electrolytes in it. Certainly hydration is the key here. What we like to do is we like to mix water with these electrolytes, these type of drinks. That way you dampen down some of the sugar and of course get the electrolytes you need. But we certainly don't want to downplay the effect or the importance of water, which usually starts the day before when you start your hydration process.
And I thought this was kind of interesting. All of these bottles of water you see here is how much water is in our body.
Right. What I want to do is show an example of the average size, well, a smaller size person, if you will, where you have actually each water represents about 8 pounds of 8 pounds, and so when you have 10 of these here, you're looking at about 80 pounds, which is about 70% of the human body of what you have as far as water in the body. So when we see a decrease in water, that's what you start to see the effects that has on people when it comes to their mentation. Dizziness, of course, is a result of having the brain lose a certain amount of water. The brain's about 80% of water, so we understand then that if you have a small loss of that, how that's going to affect you.
So clothing and also kind of getting your body used to the heat is important for people who are working outside or just wanting to exercise outside.
Well, absolutely. As Arizonans, we're inherently dehydrated. Now, Arizona is one of the most, when we say Arizona, we mean here by Phoenix in the valley, that we are one of the hottest places on earth between June and September. So with that said, what happens for us is that we have to acclimatize ourselves, and we typically do. So through that acclimation process, what you have to do is, of course, get out in the heat slowly, work your way through it, and people who are typically working in the heat day to day their bodies have adjusted somewhat to that, and of course they stay hydrated. You have to keep drinking water, and as your body goes through that process, it gets to the point where it starts to accept these heat levels.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. A lot of good information, but water, you should always be carrying bottles of water. And if you're out there hiking, make sure that it's cotton and it's a light cotton, because it really can make a big difference out there.
Absolutely.
Hey, and in addition to being one of the hottest places on earth, you guys, it's also one of the driest.
Yes.
As far as moisture in the atmosphere. So when it's hot and it's dry, you obviously you lose all your body liquids. It just evaporates immediately. And you don't feel sweat because it evaporates. The air is so dry, and sometimes you don't even know that you're perspiring. That's the problem. 22%